Okay, so I wanted to update you all. Today is 1 week from the hatch date, not when we actually received, but the actual hatch date of these Cornish cross. These are meat birds, and they are 1 week from the day they hatched. They actually took 4 days to get to us this time. Generally, we get them in 2 to 3 days. So I was a little worried when I went to the post office and got them. I thought maybe we would have some dead birds in there. We did not, but we did have one that was a bit weak, and he did pass away that very first night. I ordered 25. Our friends needed 6, and so we still have 19 because they did send one extra bird. They generally do. So we have not lost any since then, since the one extra bird passed. So we have 19 in here. They are in a tote inside the house at the moment. We don't run our air conditioning except for window units in our bedrooms at night when we sleep. So this house is generally in the 70s to low 80s here where we have them. So with that being, they are 1 week old today, and today I just changed out their 125 watt heat lamp to a regular household 100 watt bulb because they were getting where they were a little bit warm, and you could tell that by the light being here, and the chickens started to congregate here and here at the end of the tote, on both sides of the tote, because they did not want to be near the light. So I just switched out the 125 watt bulb heat lamp to a 100 watt regular standard house bulb. As you can see, they're starting to get their little feathers here. And these never, because we butcher them at 6 weeks old, they get so fast, they never really feather out. It's crazy. We've been raising meat birds, the Cornish cross, like this for 20 years, over 20 years. They will weigh like 7 pounds at 6 weeks old if you're feeding them a good high protein starter and grower. Keeping that food in front of them, keeping the light on at all times so that they are awake and eating. You can see here, even with just these 19 little birds, I have 2 feeders going on. We have the little mason jar feeder, and then I just have a little pan, and then I keep 1 gallon water in here, which needs to be cleaned out. I clean this out a few times a day because they put those shavings up in there. You can see how the bedding, I changed it this morning. It's afternoon now, and the bedding stays really good. The best bedding you can use is wood chips. They are more absorbent. They have a natural odor fighter to them. You do not want to use newspaper, shredded newspaper. Shredded newspaper compacts down. It absorbs and holds that moisture that the chicks are letting off, and it turns into a really flat, stinky mess really fast. I've also seen people using hay and straw. Same way there. The best thing you can use is the wood chips. Now these come out of my husband's shop. They're free for us. If you need to buy them, you can buy them at any of your farm supplies. You get a huge bag. Most of the time that huge bag will last you until you're ready to put these out in the chicken tractor, because these will go out in a chicken tractor in just no time. They grow so fast. I use the deep bedding method for this. I found that works better. I'd heard a lot about it, but never did it. I always took the shavings out and cleaned the tote every day. And it actually works better, the deep bedding, is where you put down like 3 inches deep of the shavings. And then you don't take out the shavings. You continue just to put down, every time you put down, once or twice a day, put down another 3 inches of shavings. And it actually works better and you get less smell than cleaning the tote daily. It's called the deep bedding method. So these are the little, they're growing really well. I will start to weigh them starting next week, and then I'll keep a daily chart. We have a chart of how much really on target that your meat pen needs to be, and I'll measure them, you know, like twice a week until they're about 4 or 5 weeks old, and then I'll measure them more frequently. Because the ideal here is we actually show these, and so we need to know exactly what they're weighing and exactly their rate of gain so that we can get them to the perfect weight that we need them to be. But high protein feed, be sure that you are putting electrolytes, which is their minerals and vitamins, in their waters. These guys grow so fast that their legs tend to not be strong enough to hold their bodies. And you need to be sure that they're getting really high protein and that they are getting electrolytes in their water to compensate for that. But 1 week old from hatch day to day, and that's what the Cornish cross are looking